Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Another U.S. rare earth substitution plan has failed, with Australian rare earth suppliers reporting that they still cannot bypass China. Recently, as China further tightened its controls on the export of rare earth raw materials, U.S. plans to replace Chinese rare earths have become more exposed. There are generally two options for the U.S. to replace China's rare earth supply. The first is to purchase minerals from other countries with rare earth minerals overseas to solve the problem of rare earth raw material supply. The second is to recycle rare earth raw materials from waste and reuse them. Currently, the U.S.'s rare earth substitution plans to bypass China are generally not feasible. This is especially true for the overseas rare earth mineral substitution option. Following the news from the Australian rare earth supplier, it is certain that the U.S. will continue to rely on China in the rare earth sector. Previously, the U.S. sought to break through the siege of Mongolia and purchase high-quality rare earth raw materials from it. The agreement was signed in 2023. Driven by Mongolia's abundant rare earth reserves. The other country does have abundant resources, encompassing a wide variety of both heavy and light rare earths. However, mining is difficult, and refining is even more challenging. Most crucially, its geographical location complicates matters. Sandwiched between Russia and China, Mongolia must transit its borders to ship its ore. This effectively ended this alternative plan before it even officially began. Australia, on the other hand, was another U.S. card. With a strong alliance, the U.S. even sold its nuclear submarine technology to Australia, hoping to leverage Australia into a rare earth supply chain alliance. However, in September 2025, China's Xinghe Resources acquired a 100% controlling stake in the Australian rare earth company Peak Rare Earths. This company's Ngwala mining area in Tanzania holds 887,000 tons of high-quality neodymium and praseodymium deposits, making it one of the world's top rare earth mineral resources. The U.S.'s plan was simple: to alleviate its own rare earth raw material pressures by partnering with Australian companies and using their rare earth minerals. But now, this plan seems completely unworkable. While the supply of rare earth minerals has been secured, the related purification and smelting processes are still controlled by Chinese companies. China currently controls over 70% of the world's rare earth processing capacity, and holds the largest market share for medium and heavy rare earths. Due to the hollowing out of the U.S. industry, many minerals mined by American companies still need to be shipped to China for refining. It's not that American companies don't want to refine, but rather that their technological level lags far behind China's. The same products, when sold to Chinese companies, are priced below their cost base. This has caused many American mining giants who wanted to enter the rare earth industry to back out before they even entered. The U.S. approach of sourcing rare earth raw materials from around the world and shipping them to domestic or allied factories for refining is essentially unworkable. To build an independent rare earth industry chain, the U.S. must invest substantial capital. By then, the other side's rare earth industry chain may not have been rebuilt, while China's chip technology will have already achieved a technological breakthrough. Another option is to recycle rare earth raw materials and repurify the materials needed for domestic production from scrapped equipment. This approach seems feasible, but the cost is still prohibitively high, not to mention whether the laboratory data can be commercialized. Even if it were feasible, where would the United States obtain so much rare earth waste? Furthermore, the rare earth raw materials used in the military industry are almost all consumable and cannot be recycled through normal channels. Ultimately, the two alternative plans the United States has prepared still rely on China's rare earth supply. At present, it seems that the other side has expressed its intention to sit down and talk, but has been reluctant to initiate it. For both China and the United States, only by resuming global cooperation in relevant areas can avert a greater crisis. The United States has the chips needed by Chinese companies, while China holds the rare earths that American companies urgently need. A sit-down discussion would be preferable to a trade war. As for who will sit down first, the answer is probably already clear. China's chip industry chain is beginning to take shape, and technology releases from domestic semiconductor equipment manufacturers like Zinc-Ally are gradually undermining U.S. chip dominance. However, the U.S. has yet to find a viable alternative in the rare earth sector. Furthermore, it was the first to implement trade controls. If the U.S. is sincere, it should first sit down and make a statement. What are your thoughts on this? Feel free to leave a comment and discuss.